In this episode 7 of SEAMLY2D Basics, we are going to be drafting the back part. Now watch episode 6 to see how we drafted this front part. Now to start another pattern piece using the same pattern, we'll now go to new draft block and click on it. And I'm going to label it as back piece, Helen Joseph Armstrong. Because we are still using Helen Joseph Armstrong's pattern drafting book to draft that. And once you do that, zoom to fit, that is where our B is. That is where we are going to start. And we can shift it from here. Let's bring it up here. This is where our starting point will be. And we are still using my measurements. So now, the very first thing we need to do is to get the full back length. Full back length. So we are going to go to points. As usual, we are going to use this and we are going to start here and we are going to draw our full back length. So we'll come here, remember, and what we are going to be looking for is neck side to waist back. Neck side to waist back. So we'll go there, we'll put in neck, and we look for neck side to waist back. There it is. And then, oh, I didn't remove this. I need to remove this number. And we click on OK. Here should be 270 when you're going down. And then OK. So that is our next side to waist, and that is our point B1. And then we're now going to mark across shoulder measurement, also using the point tool. Across shoulder measurement, we'll come here again, we start from B, and we go towards the right, and we're going to be getting our across shoulder measurement. And what is that there? Across shoulder measurement is neck back to shoulder tip. Neck back to shoulder tip. And we're going to be looking for neck back to shoulder tip back. Okay. I keep forgetting to remove this number. Neck back to shoulder tip back. So we click on it. This is 360. Going to the right. So we have our B2 right there, and then the next one is to mark the center back length using the point on line 2. We're going to be using this, and we're going to be marking it from B1 to B, and then the length is going to be neck back to waist back. Neck back to waist back. Neck back to waist back. And then we click on OK. And then we click on OK. So that is it right there. And then we are going to, from B2, we are going to square down, or rather, let me see, from B3, no, let's square down from here. From B2, I'm going to be squaring down 3 inches, that is 7.62 centimeters. And we are going to use this point tool, square down 3 inches, that is 7.62 centimeters. Coming down is 270. And click on OK. And then we're also going to square out from B3. We're going to square out from B3 4 inches. That is 10.16 centimeters. The same to square out 4 inches. That is 10.16 centimeters. And this is 360. And that is okay. Good. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Enorita James, and in my channel, I take you by the hand and show you how to transit from manual pattern drafting to digital pattern drafting. I have been doing a series on SEAMLY2D pattern drafting software. This is a completely free CAD pattern drafting software. And if you want to learn CAD pattern drafting as a beginner, it is best to start from SEAMLY2D because it is completely free and you have all the time in the world to try your hands on drafting your patterns digitally. This is episode 7 in my SEAMLY2D basics tutorial. If you just landed on this video, I will advise you to go ahead and go and start from episode 1. I have the playlist link directly below this video because if you do not start from episode 1, you may not be able to understand what I'm doing. You may not be able to understand the significance of these tools even as I begin to use them. So go ahead and start from episode 1. This is episode 7. In the last episode 6, we drafted this front piece and we are using Helen Armstrong's pattern drafting book. I also have the link below this video if you want to buy it. If you're really serious in learning CAD pattern drafting, you need to have a pattern drafting book. And for me, Helen Armstrong is easy enough for a beginner. I have other books, but our own is easier, let me put it like that, for you to use and actually learn CAD pattern drafting. So let's continue with drafting our back piece, basic body back piece. So the next thing we are going to be doing now, we are going to mark the back arc. Before I continue, I also have a link where I created a table to let you know the SEAMLY2D formula for you to use when you're using this Helen Armstrong's book. That is what we are doing, the back bodies draft of Helen Armstrong. Most of the SEAMLY2D videos I have seen, it's a little bit not too well explained for a beginner, especially if you're just stepping into CAD pattern drafting. So I took time to create tables to let you know, for instance, if you want to look for A to B, what formula are you going to be looking for in the SEAMLY2D measurement set? So that's what I did. So I created this table. Like if you're looking at full length, which is A to B on the Helen Armstrong's pattern drafting book, this is what you'll be looking for under the SEAMLY2D measurement set. So SEAMLY2D name, the distance on the pattern that you're seeing if you're using that book, and the measurement type. So that's what I did. I also have this link below this video. If you're really serious, you need to do this. But if you feel that you know how to use SEAMLY2D, you may not need it. But if you're new to this, I think this will help you a lot because I took my time to do this so that you'll be able to, follow along and learn it, make it easier for you. Okay, let's continue. So let's come to the arc. 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 Next, we need to get our neck, back neck arc. It's going to be from, what's happening here? Let me look. It's going to be from B to B2 line. So we are going to be using this particular tool. We're going to start it from B to B2. Always ensure that this first point and second point is showing what you want. So we are going to look for our back neck, I think neck arc or so. Yeah, neck arc half back. That's what we are looking for. Click on it. Okay. Click on OK. So that's our back neck. That is our B7. And then we're going to get our shoulder slope that will help us to draw our shoulders. So we are going to do that using an arc. The arc is radius is going to be the length of the shoulder drop to the center waistline. Back, shoulder drop to the center waist line. But let me exactly look for what it is on my table. Shoulder slope, shoulder tip to waist. Okay, that's what I'm going to be looking for. Shoulder tip to waist. So let's go to the arc. We are doing an arc. Click on it. So we're starting from here. And the radius is going to be shoulder tip to waist. We are going to look for shoulder tip to waist. Shoulder tip to waist back. That's what we're looking for. Excuse me. And we're going to be adding 1/8. We are going to be adding 1/8 of an inch to this measurement. And 1/8 of an inch in centimeters is 0.32 centimeters. So 0. Okay. Now the first angle is going to be 55 and the second angle is going to be 65. I will click on OK, and that is our arc. So we're going to create the point between arc and the line. And to do that, we come to this tool here, point intersecting arc and line. Click on the arc, and then click where you want the line to come from. And then we are going to place where we want the intersection to be. And that's our point B8. Good. So now we need to draw our shoulder line. So we are going to come back to our line. I think, no, point. Is it point? No, line. It has to be line because we are joining two points. So we come here and then we click on B7 to B8. But our shoulder is a little bit longer than that. We are supposed to add about half an inch. That is 1.27 centimeters from here. So we are going to go back to this point line, pick up this, and we're going to start again from B7, and we are going to just drop it there. And then we are going to make our line to be B7 to B8. So we go to line length, remove this. So we look for B7 to B8, scroll down. That's B7, B8. That's what we want. How am I having all these lines? B7, B8 plus 1.27. That is our shoulder length. So we're going to add 1 centimeters. And that's our shoulder. Okay. So you see there, that is our line B9 point. Okay. Now we need a line to cross from B7, crossing this B3 and B5, so that we'll be able to do our back neck curve. So I'll just get a line. It doesn't really matter how long it is, as long as it crosses and is perpendicular to this line. So we just get that and we just draw it. And we just leave it at whatever it is, as long as it's perpendicular. You can reduce it if it's too long. Let me reduce it to 4 cm. So that's it, so that we can do our curve. Then we need to create a point between the intersection of these two lines. And to do that, we just go to line and click on this. And then we are going to intersect from this B7 to B10, and then this to this one. And that's our point there, and that is our B11. The next thing is for us to create our first start point. So to do that, we will now go back to point. We'll be using this point on the line, and we are starting from B1 to B6, and that is going to be bus point to bus point divided by 2 minus 0.5 inches. Bus point to bus point divided by 2 minus 1.27 centimeters. That is 0.5 inches. So we look for bus point. I'll just write it here. Bus point to bus point. We will divide it by 2. Then minus 1.27. Okay. So that is our first point of that. Now let us measure our back waist arc. We are using the same thing to do our back waist arc. We now go here, starting from B again to B6. And we're going to be looking for, I think, waist arc back. Let's see. I hope I have it. Waist. I have waist arc front. Waist arc back. Let me see if I have waist arc back divided by, I don't have it, so I'll just use this and divide it by 2. Divide that by 2. And then we are going to add the dart, and the dart is 1.5 inches. I have to convert 1.5 inches quickly to centimeters. Let me quickly do that. 1.5 inch to centimeters times 2.54. That will give me 3.81 plus 3.81 centimeters. Okay. So that's our waist arc. So now we'll draw from here to get the 1.5, B12 to B13 to get the dart width. So we'll come here and do from here to B13, and then we are going to be using 3, what was it, 3.81. Okay, so we have our dart width. So let's now get the midpoint between the dart um, length. So what we'll do now, we are going to be using this particular tool, and then we are going to start from B12 to be 14. It will ask you if you want to have divide the current length by 2. We are going to say okay. And then we have our midpoint of our that. Now I need to square down from this B13. I want to square down 3/16 of an inch. That is 0.48 centimeters. So I'm going to use this tool and I'm going to B13 and I'm going to square down by 0.48. And remember our angle should be 270 coming down. And then we click on OK. So now we have another point B16. We need to separate this point so there's no confusion. This B6. So good. The next thing we are going to do, we are going to mark our armpit to waist level. And we are going to be using B6 as our starting point. So that means we are going to use the arc. The armpit to waist level, we don't know where exactly it is here. So we are going to use the arc and we are going to be using B6 as our starting level. So let's go to arcs, come here, and then we are starting at B6 and we are getting the radius is going to be the armpit, it's going to be armpit waist length. So armpit to waist side. So let's do this, copy this, and then we'll click on OK. And our first angle is going to be 68. If you don't understand these angle things, please go ahead and watch my other episodes so you understand how to fix these angles. Because if you're just watching this one, you might not understand it. The second angle, we are taking it to be 95. And then we'll click on OK. So you see our arc right there. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to create a line intersecting the arc. We are using this particular tool. And we're going to start from, let's do B6. First the arc, and then B6. And then it's going to be perpendicular to it. Not like this, so perpendicular to B1, B6 line. So we are going to create a perpendicular line like so, to create a dot there. And then we are now going to join points B16 to B17. This is now B17. So we'll now join this, our B16, this one here, to B17. And we're going to be using the line. Come here. So we'll join B16 to B17. Good. Now let's draw our dart length. Our dart length is this B16 to B17 minus 1 inch. So let's go to point, come here. We are going to start from this. Let me separate this so I see what I'm doing. We are going to start from B15. I used the wrong one. Come again. Collect this. Start from B15. That is our dart leg. And our dart leg Here is going to be 90 degrees. And then our dart leg is going to be B16 to B17. So we are going to line length. We are going to look for B16 to B17. This is A, not B. We look for B16 to B17. There it is. And then minus 1 inch. That is 2.54 centimeters. I'm being very, very slow compared to other videos you will watch, because if you really want to learn this, you can learn it. So there we have it, and we click on OK. So that is our dart length. So now we are going to join our dart lines. Let's join our dart lines. We are going to join B12 to B18, and then B14 also to B18. And we're going to be using line 2. Let's join it. Come back again, and let's join this. So we have our darts. Now that we've created our waist dart, it's time to create our shoulder dart. And to create the first dart leg, we are going to find midpoint between B17 and B9. That is the shoulder. So let's go here, these 2 points, that is divides the line into 2 equal pieces. You hit on it, and then we are going from B7 to B9. To ask you current length divided by 2, you click on OK. So we have our first point, that is B19. Now we are going to join this point to this point. So to do that, we are going to go for our line 2, click on it, then come to B19, and we'll join it to B18. Now the dart depth for the shoulder is going to be around 3 inches, that is 7.62 centimeters. So we are going to go back to point, go here, and we're going to go from B19 to B18, and we are going to make it 7.62 centimeter. That's about 3 inches. So we have that there. So let's create the that leg here. So the dart is going to be about 1/4 inch on both sides, 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch, because we are removing 1/2 inch from the shoulder. So to create that 1/4 inch on this side, we are going to go from let me see, to B19 to B7. Yeah, we're going to go from B19 to B7, and then we'll come again from B19 to B9. So let's do that. We are using this tool. So we'll go from B19 to B7, and the length is going to be 1/4 inch, and that is 0.64 centimeters. So we do 0.64 because we're using centimeters, and that's it there. So we're going to join that to here. That is B21. So we're going to go to line, use this tool, and we're going from B21 to B20. So we'll do the same thing here. So we'll go back to point. We are going to be using the same tool, and we are going from B19 to B9. The same length 0.64 centimeters. Click OK. And then the line from B22 to B20 should be equal to this line from B21 to B20. So we'll just click on here, this, and we'll go from B22. We'll come here like so, and then we are now going to give it the length. So we'll go here, because we want it to be the same length. We'll go to line length, and remember we are looking for B21, I think, to B20. So let's look for line B21 to B20. B21 to B20. There it is. Okay. Okay. So there you have it. So now we have created our shoulder dart. Now let's create our chest line. For our chest line, we are going to divide this line into four, B3 and B1. So we'll now go to this one here. I will click from here to here. We are going to look for B3 to B1. B3 to B1. Go to line length, and we're going to look for B3 to B1 and divide by 4. B3 to B1. There we have it. And then we'll divide it by 4. What did I? Okay. Let's see. Good. So, okay. Okay. So we have our chest line. So to get our chest line now at the back, we'll now come here to this tool, and then we'll go from B24 to this side, and then we are going to go for the across back, divided by 2. And then we'll click on OK. Click on OK. And then we come back here and click on, this is supposed to be 0, is a straight line. And then we click on OK. So that is our across back measurement, B25. So now we are done with all that. It's time to draw our curve. We are going to first start with drawing the neck curve, and then we'll draw the sleeve curve or the arm curve. So before we do this, we are going to create a short line from this B11 point. The line is going to be 3/8 of an inch, that is about 0.95 centimeters. To do that, we of course use this our tool right here, our point tool. We are going to go from 11 like so, and we are going to make it 0.95 length. So that's where our curve, neck curve is going to sit on. So let's now, let me shift that. Good. So now let's do the curve. We're now going to go to curve. Then we are going to be using this curve. And we are going to be going from B3. We are now going to B26. And then we'll end it at B7. And then we enter. Once you're using this, you just click on enter to stop the curve. Or else it will keep curving and going if you don't stop it. So now we can use the handles and then just adjust it the way we want. See all these handles here to help you to adjust your neck curve the way you want it to be. I think that's okay. Looks okay to me. Can adjust it a little bit more. Okay. This place doesn't look too curved. I think I should do something about that place. Okay, then that looks okay. Now let's do our hand curve. We use the same tool. We're going to start from B19 to B25 to B17. And then we click on enter. And then we are going to curve it. I don't like the way this plate is looking. Something is. I wanted this handle here. So I can. That's what I wanted. Good. I think it's looking okay from my own side. That looks okay. So just keep adjusting it until it looks like a curve. So now we are done with our curves. You can keep adjusting it until you're satisfied with it. Now we are done with our curves. Next thing, the last thing is to true the darts. And then we are going to go to operations. As I said, watch my other episodes. If you don't watch the episodes, everything will be looking very strange to you. Okay, I wanted to expand it a little so that we're going to see how I'm going to true the darts. So we just click on this, and then first you click the line on which the dart is laying on. That's this one from B7. It's laying from B7 to B9. And then we'll do the dart legs. That is from B21 to B20 to B23. And that is the dart. That is the dart. Everything is looking so crowded now. B27 and B28. Okay, now what you have to do now, we have to create we have to create this line, because if I click outside of it, you see, you cannot see it. You can only see the dots that has through the dot. You can only see this dot here and this one here. So we need, so if you now click on this 27, it comes on again. So what we need to do now is we need to put this line from here now, 27 to B9, and possibly 28 to B9 and 27 to B7. So you need to create that line to join with this line for you to know that when we are now extracting, those are the lines you're going to follow where your data has been trued. So now we have done that, we'll do the same thing for this one. We're going to click on it, and then we're going to come from B1 to B16. And then we are now going to go to from B12 to B18 to B14. And that's it. So we've created another one here, B30 and B29. So that is our that. So now we need to draw those lines again from here to here, from here to here. You have to draw it again. And when you're drawing this one to this one, you use the curve tool. From 30 to this one, we use the curved tool. So I'll quickly do that, and then we'll see the outcome of our pattern. I have outlined the lines to my dart using the true lines, and I've given it another color to make it easier to identify when we are extracting our patterns, which I will show you in subsequent episodes. I've also done that here. Now I want to show you how to color it, and then remember we are using curves for this too. So let me quickly do the curve from B1 to B29 and then B30 to B16. And we're going to go to curve, and we're going to use this particular one because it's taking only 2 points. So I'm going from B1 to B29. So that's the curve there. So I can just adjust the curve. Let me shift this here so that I see this handle to adjust it. This can take time at times for you to actually get what you want. You have to take your time, but at least you get the picture. Don't want this video to be too long again. Just adjust it to suit you the way you want. Then we'll do the same thing here. B30 to B16. Okay, I think it's okay like that. So that's it. Then I'm going to click on it, right click, go to properties, and I'm going to change the color to pink. And let's click OK. And I'll do the same thing here. I'll right click on it, go to properties, and change the color to pink. So it will be easier for us when we are extracting our pattern. With this, I have come to the end of this episode of SEAMLY2D Basics, where we've created the back piece of our basic body block using Helen Joseph Armstrong's pattern drafting book. So go ahead and try your hands on creating both the front piece and the back piece. In the next episode, which is episode 8, I think, either episode 7 or 8, I'm going to be creating the sleeves that we are going to be using with this. If you've watched this far, remember to subscribe, remember to hit the notification bell so that when I upload new videos on CAD pattern drafting softwares and CAD pattern drafting project using free CAD pattern drafting softwares, you will be the first to know. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next episode.